Shall we have roll call, please?
Mr. Weeks,
Yes.
Ms. Peace.
Yes.
I was gonna say
I know.
great.
I know, you're like, wait, we're missing somebody.
Miss Peace, Miss Bernard.
Yes.
Shall we stand for the pledge of allegiance? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I do have a couple of agendas up here if you would like an agenda.
Okay.
Just what you're doing tonight, right?
Yeah. You should have had a copy on your email.
I did. I looked at it a little bit.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is to make the statement, no action will be taken at this public hearing. And public notice was in the Tribune on Thursday, September 4th. I'd like to read that public notice now. The Bristol Township Zoning Commission will hold a public hearing pursuant to ORC 519.12 on the 15th day of September at 6:00 p.m. in the 6:00 p.m. in the Township Administration Building. The purpose of this public hearing is to review the proposed text additions to Section 5, Classification of Uses, R District Permitted Uses, text deletions and additions, basically a rewrite to Section 36, Alternative Energy Sources, subsection 2, Solar Energy Systems, and new Section 45, Short-Term Rentals, to the Bristol Township Zoning Resolution. The proposed amendments are available for examination for a period of at least 10 days prior to the public hearing by contacting the chairman of the Bristol Township Zoning Commission at 330-889-3282. No action will be taken at the public hearing. The Zoning Commission has 30 days after the hearing to submit the matter to the Bristol Township trustees for its action. By order of the Bristol Township Zoning Commission, Kenneth Weeks, Chairman. Okay. Next item on the agenda is we had sent all the appropriate documentation to the Trumbull County Planning Commission, and we received their recommendation. I'd like to read that recommendation for the text amendment, additional permitted uses. Please bear with me, these get kind of wordy. And there are copies up here if anybody wants a copy of what this was. Dear Kenneth Weeks, 5350 State Route 45, Northwest Bristolville, Ohio, 44402. Dear Mr. Weeks, reference Z 2025-9, zoning text amendment, additional uses, Bristol Township. Enclosed is a copy of resolution number 9/2025-64, which was adopted by the Trumbull County Planning Commission at its regular board meeting on September 9th, 2025. The Planning Commission suggests changes to the proposed zoning text amendment. As listed in the comments of the Plats and Zoning Committee meeting minutes of September 2nd, 2025, and recommends that the township consult with legal counsel regarding the proposed text amendment. Suggestion: revise the following section to include the addition of the italicized words in bold below. R District Residential 5, last revision 3/21/24. Permitted uses: accessory buildings incidental to the principal use which do not include any activity conducted as a business. Some examples of accessory buildings may include standalone decks, pavilions, and gazebos. Please let me know if you have any questions or comments. Respectfully, Kimberly Avon, Plats and Planning Zoning Coordinator. Now, moving on to the resolution that was passed by the Planning Commission. Whereas staff reviewed with Plats and Zoning Committee all pertinent documentation, research, and data relative to case number Z-2025-9, entitled Zoning Text Amendment, Additional Permitted Uses, Bristol Township, and whereas the minutes of this meeting are on file, and whereas the proposed zoning text amendment is in conformity with the Bristol Township Comprehensive Plan, and Whereas the Plats and Zoning Committee of the Trumbull County Planning Commission has determined that the proposed zoning text amendment is in the best interest of Bristol Township, and whereas that the Trumbull County Planning Commission suggests changes to the proposed zoning text amendment as listed in the comments of Plats and Zoning Committee meeting minutes of September 2nd, 2025, and recommends that the township consult with legal counsel regarding the proposed zone text amendment. Suggestion: revise the following section to include the addition of italicized words in below. R District Residential, page 5, last revision 3/21/24. Permitted uses. Accessory in paragraph 2. Accessory buildings incidental to the principal use which do not include any activity conducted as a business. Some examples of accessory buildings may include standalone decks, pavilions, and gazebos. The Trumbull County Planning Commission approves the forwarding of the proposed correspondence to the Township of Bristol. Proposed zoning, next item in their letter is proposed zoning amendments, Bristol Township, initiated by Bristol Township Zoning Commission. Summary: this amendment proposes the addition of porches, decks, breezeways, pavilions, and gazebos as permitted uses in the R District. Comments, facts to be considered. Schedule a public hearing September 15, 2025. The motion by the Township for Planning Commission to hear the zoning text amendment was August 18, 2025. History: this is a new addition to the Township zoning resolution and has not been addressed previously by this commission. Best practices: comparison to other jurisdictions. Kinsman Township. These structures are listed under accessory uses. Next item is additional comments. A review of the Township zoning resolution and comprehensive plan reveals that accessory uses are defined in several sections throughout the zoning resolution and coincide with the goals set forth in the comprehensive plan. Porches, decks, and breezeways are typically considered a part of the main structure or in addition to the main structure rather than an accessory structure, therefore should not be associated with any definitions for accessory or detached structures. Recommendation: Mr. Miller made a motion to suggest changes to the proposed zoning text amendment, Ohio Revised Code 5/1907, in Bristol Township with consideration of the comments above and suggestions below by the Planning Commission to consult with the Township legal counsel regarding the proposed text amendments. Seconded by Mr. Moody. The motion was carried. And what we did basically is what we sent to the Planning Commission, and which was add paragraph 7, which there's copies of this up here also. Porches, decks, breezeways, and pavilions as a separate item under permitted uses. They wanted us to take that, not put it as a separate item, but put it in as an accessory under paragraph 2, accessory buildings incidental to the principal use, which do not include any activity conducted as a business. And that's what their recommendation was. Now, I hope I didn't lose everybody, but here is there's copies of what we did, and there's copies of, if you pass those around, that's a copy letter. I should have sent that out via an email, but I didn't get it done last week because of a lot of different things going on. Well, we can't take any, we're not going to take any action on that at this meeting, but in our next meeting, I'd very much like to, I have a recommendation to pass that. I don't agree with what they suggested that we do, but that's just my opinion, so. Next item is the recommendation of Bristol Township short-term rentals. And I'll go ahead and read that letter also. And again, there's copies up here on that one. Tuesday, September 9th, Kenneth Weeks, 5350 State Route 45. Dear Mr. Weeks, Reference Z 2025-11 zoning text amendment, short-term rentals. Enclosed is a copy of Resolution 9-2025-66, which was adopted by the Trumbull County Planning Commission at its regular board meeting on September 9, 2025. The Planning Commission suggests changes to the proposed zoning text amendment as listed in the comments of the Plats and Zoning Committee meeting minutes of September 2nd, 2025, and recommends that the township consult with legal counsel regarding the proposed text amendment. Suggestions. Staff suggests that Bristol Township consult with legal counsel on the authority to limit the number of people per bedroom unit. Ohio Building Code and local fire codes typically dictate maximum occupancy structures. It would have been nice if they'd have given reference what the which one of the Ohio building codes out of the 100 and some odd building codes out there, to look at where they got their. Staff suggests that Bristol Township develop a template registration form that incorporates our comments above, which basically Tara and Vivian have done already, so that one is kind of a moot point. Staff suggests that short-term rentals be regulated under Section 33 conditional uses. And I have a lot to say about that one later. So I'm going to go on and read everything else that they had to say.
You want somebody else to read for you?
You're going to get to read the solar.
Oh, good. I just feel bad that you're reading all of them. Go ahead, carry on. You're doing a lovely job.
I appreciate. Thank you for your permission. You're just getting ready for the
You're
future,
doing
aren't
great.
you?
No, you're doing a lovely job.
Okay, zoning. Whereas staff reviewed with the Plats and Zoning Committee all pertinent documentation, research, and data relative to case number Z 2025-11 entitled Zoning Text Amendment, Short-Term Rentals, Bristol Township. And whereas the minutes of this meeting are on file, and whereas proposed zoning text amendment is in conformity with the Bristol Township Comprehensive Plan, and whereas the Plats and Zoning Committee of Trumbull County Planning Commission has determined that the proposed zoning text amendment is in the best interest of Bristol Township. And whereas the Trumbull County Planning Commission suggests changes to the proposed zoning text amendment as listed in the comments of the Plats and Zoning Committee meeting minutes of September 2nd, 2025, and recommends that the township consult with legal counsel regarding the proposed text amendment. Suggestions. Staff suggests that Bristol Township consult with legal counsel on authority to limit the number of people per bedroom unit. Ohio Building Code and local fire codes typically dictate maximum occupancy for structures. Staff suggests that Bristol Township develop a template and registration form that incorporates our comments above. Staff suggests that short-term rental be regulated under Section 33 conditional uses. Now therefore be it resolved that the Trumbull County Planning Commission approves the forwarding of the proposed correspondence to the Township of Bristol. And now I'll read the minutes from which they made their decision on that. Proposed zoning text amendment, Bristol Township, Trumbull County, initiated by Bristol Township Zoning Commission. Summary. This amendment proposes the addition of a new section 45, short-term rentals, to the Township zoning resolution. Comments and facts to be considered. Schedule a public hearing on September 15, 2025. The motion by the Township for the Planning Commission to hear the zoning text amendment was August 18, 2025. History. This is a new addition to the Township zoning resolution and has not been addressed previously by this commission. Comprehensive plan. Confirmed most recent, February 14, 2014. The proposed amendment does comply with the Township's 2015 comprehensive plan. Land use goal, promote public health, safety, welfare through land use decision-making that achieves and maintains a high quality of living environment with well-placed, well-timed, and well-placed mix of land uses. Best practices, comparison to other jurisdictions. Staff conducted a search for literature and or discussion regarding best practice policies relating to short-term rentals. Proposed text was compared with zoning language of Wethersfield Township, Trumbull County, and Jefferson County, Ohio, which I don't understand why they went outside Trumbull County, but they did. Additional comments. If the township decides to enact noise restrictions, they should be enforced with respect to the township zoning district in which short-term rental is located. I have no idea why they had added that comment about noise in there. The township may wish to consider the requirement of a property manager to ensure timely and effective maintenance of the short-term rental, especially if the property owner does not reside near the property. The rental registration contact information should be kept up to date and should include information for the project manager if one is designated, and should be made available through safety services. Zoning resolution text should make it clear that all other zoning regulations will be enforced for the district in which the short-term rental is located. If a permit for short-term rental is denied, the zoning resolution should indicate additional legal course of action. That is the Board of Zoning Appeals, along with reference to the appropriate Ohio Revised Code section. The proposed zoning resolution should include clear minimum standards for inspection, cleanliness, trash, portable water, etc. And my only comment on that, and I know I'm making comments, who's going to do that? You know. So anyway, recommendation, Mr. Moody made a motion to suggest changes to the proposed zoning text amendments, Ohio Revised Code 5/1907, in Bristol Township with consideration of the comments and suggestions below by the Planning Commission, and to consult with the township's legal counsel regarding the proposed zoning text amendments, seconded by Mrs. Miller. The motion was carried. Suggestions. Staff suggests that Bristol Township consult with legal counsel on authority to limit the number of people per bedroom unit. Ohio Building Code and local fire codes typically dictate maximum occupancy for structures. Staff suggests that Bristol Township develop a template registration form that incorporates our comments above. Staff suggests that short-term rental be regulated under Section 33 conditional uses. Motion carried. Now, part of me wanted to say a few more comments for later. That's what they had to say about our short-term rental. Tara, would you like to read?
I wasn't volunteering, I was just saying we should give you a hand, that's all. But I would love to read for you, yes.
Pardon?
I wasn't volunteering myself, I was just saying that we're happy to help read
Oh,
as a group.
I didn't want to show wealth right now.
Okay, okay. Okay, Mr. Weeks received this Tuesday, September 9th to 5350045 at his address. And says, Dear Mr. Weeks, regarding the 2025-10 zoning text amendment solar energy systems Bristol Township. Closes a copy of resolution number 9-2025-65, which is adopted by the Trumbull County Planning Commission as regular board meeting on September 9th, 2025. The Planning Commission recommends approval of the proposed zoning text amendment and recommends the township consult with legal counsel regarding the proposed zone text amendment. Please let me know if you have any questions or comments. Respectively, Kimberly Avon, Plats and Zoning Coordinator. Resolution number 9-2025-65, zoning. Whereas staff reviewed with the Plats and Zoning Committee all pertinent documentation, research, and data relative to case number Z 2025-10 entitled Zoning Text Amendment, Solar Energy Systems, Bristol Township, and whereas the minutes of this meeting are on file, and whereas the proposed zoning text amendment is in conformity with the Bristol Township Comprehensive Plan, and whereas the Plats and Zoning Committee of the Trumbull County Planning Commission has determined that the proposed zoning text amendment is in the best interest of the Bristol Township, and whereas that the Trumbull County Planning Commission recommends approval of the proposed zoning text amendment with consideration of the suggestions and comments provided by the Planning Commission, and to consult with the township's legal counsel regarding the proposed text amendment. Now therefore be it resolved that the Trumbull County Planning Commission approves the forwarding of the proposed correspondence to the Township of Bristol. Proposed zoning amendments. Township Bristol, initiated by Bristol Township Zoning Commission. Summary, this amendment proposes a major revision of subsection 2, solar energy systems of Bristol Township zoning resolution. Comments, facts to be considered. Scheduled public hearing September 15th, 2025. The motion of Township for Planning Commission to hear the zoning text amendment was August 18th, 2025. History. This is a complete revision to the Township's zoning resolution, solar energy systems section, subsection 2, The planning commission recommends approval of the current text on November 14, 2023. 11-2023-71.
That would have been their motion
Mhm.
to do that.
Comprehensive plan confirmed most recent February 2014. Proposed amendment does comply with the township's 2015 comprehensive plan. Policy LU 10.4, develop standards for use of alternative energy, page 9 through 24. Ohio codes, the Ohio Revised Code, the Ohio Administrative Code, both reviewed for related sections of solar facilities with an aggregate capacity of less than 50 megawatts and greater than 50 megawatt as defined by the ORC. There are several rules that apply to solar energy within the Ohio Administrative Code and are not included herein, as the focus of the review is related to zoning, which is detailed within the Ohio Revised Code. For solar facilities with aggregate capacity of less than 50 megawatts, the Planning Commission recommends that Bristol Township reference the Ohio Revised Code sections 519.213, 2B, Township Small Wind Farm Zoning Regulations, State B, notwithstanding Division A of Section 519.211 of the Ohio Revised Code, Sections 519.02 to 519.25 of the Ohio Revised Code, confer power of the Board of Township Trustees of Board of Zoning Appeals with respect to the location, erection, construction, reconstruction, change, alteration, maintenance, removal, use, or enlargement of any small wind farm or small solar facility, whether publicly or privately owned, or the use of land for the purpose. Regarding a small wind farm, the regulations may be stricter than the regulations prescribed in the rules adopted under Division B to Section 490.20 of the Revised Code. YARS JULUS impact. Bristol Township has adopted the YARS Military Compatibility Area Overlay District, which supports alternative energy development. The 2023-25 resolution number 11-2023-72. Joint land use background report, section 5.8, energy development, page 5 through 27 includes the following recommendation. Development of energy sources, including alternative energy sources such as solar, wind, geothermal, or biofuels, proposed compatibility issues related to glare solar energy or vertical obstruction and radar operations, wind generation. It is in both the installation interest as well as the community to support the alternative energy development for both energy security and economic reasons. Understanding communities' energy pursuits with the opportunities sought by alternative energy developers and intersection of the military footprint enhances the likelihood that these activities can exist in mutual compatibility. Trumbull County Planning Commission recommends that the MCAOD requirements be mentioned cross-referenced with the proposed sections of the solar energy systems, as the MCAOD may contain additional standards that need to be met when developing solar and wind facilities. In addition, a critical factor for military commission continuity is energy resilience. This is particularly important for the Youngstown ARS. Best practices. Staff conducted a search for literature and/or discussed regarding best practices policies relating to the regulation of small solar facilities at the township level through zoning. Staff attended the 2023 NEO Planning and Zoning Workshop on June 30th and provide recommendations below as detailed by the expert presenters during the two workshops titled Solar Farm Demonstration Part 1 and Part 2. Recommendations based on the comments, facts to be considered. Given the recent enhancement of HB 501 and effective date of April 2023, the Township County Planning Commission recommends that Bristol Township view the Ohio Township Association model zoning text for small solar facilities in comparison to their proposed zoning text amendments. It appears that much of the language included in the revised section is like the model zoning text for small solar facilities. However, many sections are not included, such as lighting and noise, published by the Ohio Township Association. The Trumbull County Planning Commission reviewed the proposed zoning text against the model zoning text for small solar facilities and the ideas presented on June 30th, 2023, Northeast Ohio Planning and Zoning Workshop by expert panelists. Some of the recommendations that are not addressed in the Township Revised section are: number 1, dual use considerations, co-locating solar with agriculture. Number 2, comprehensive land use site selection, where to allow solar and where not to allow solar, which is primarily considered recommendations included YARS, JULUS site coordination. Other site selection considerations are areas containing prime or important soils, historic or culturally significant sites, densely settled areas, or incentives for brownfield redevelopment. Number 3, consideration of model state zoning standards for small solar facilities, including visual buffers, lighting, noise, etc. 4, consideration of model zoning standards for conditional use permits, including road use, maintenance agreement, evidence of available safety services, prohibition on front of lot locations, visual buffers and setbacks from residences, glare prevention and fencing harmonious with area. Consideration of zoning permit requirements, including an engineering report that details total size, height, generating capacity, grading, topsoil removal, drainage system, integration, noxious weed management, hazardous material containment, and disposal plan, site drawing, maintenance schedule, dismantling plan, and bonding requirements. This also gives related sources. Additional comments. Bristol Township appears to use a solar energy system model provided by the Ohio Township Association as the basis of proposed text. Proposed zone text amendment prohibits the construction, erection, or siting of any solar energy system, including a small solar facility or an integrated rooftop or ground-mounted solar energy system, which does not meet the requirements to be a permitted use. Permitted use is defined as meeting the following requirements. Solar energy system is sized and used to provide electric power for only the principal and accessory use of the property, and not for the generation of power for sale off the property, except for sale to the power company resulting from occasional incidental excess power generation. Recommendation. Mrs. Miller made a motion to recommend approval of the proposed zoning text amendment, Rose Code 519.07A, and the Bristol Township, with consideration of the above referenced suggestions and comments by the Planning Commission, and to consult with the Township's legal counsel regarding the proposed zoning text amendments. Seconded by Mr. Moody. The motion was carried.
Thank you. You can't take any action, we're not gonna take any action at this public hearing, but you will be taking some action later on. I'd like to make a motion to adjourn public hearing. Do you guys have any comments?
No.
I'll second the motion.
Roll call. Here, I'm kind of faster.
Mr. Weeks?
Yes.
Ms. Pease?
Yes.
Ms. Bernard?
Yes.
And I'm yes as well.
This meeting is adjourned, public hearing is adjourned. We'll take a 5-minute break and we'll start up again. Call the regular meeting of the Bristol Township Zoning Commission to order. Roll call?
Mr. Weeks?
Yes.
Ms. Pease?
Yes.
Ms. Bernard?
Yes.
And I'm hearing as well.
Okay, shall we stand for the pledge of allegiance, please? He's been sitting for a long time. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The notification of this meeting was in the Tribune on Saturday. States the Bristol Zoning Commission will meet at 6 p.m. Monday at the Township Administration Building. It's published on 9/13/25 in Tribune Chronicle. Okay. Next item on the agenda would be, I'd like someone to make a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes of the regular meeting held on August 18th, 2025.
I better not, since I wasn't there. Nothing to make the motion.
I'll make a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes from the regular meeting, August 18th, 2025.
And I'll second it.
Okay. Roll call?
Mr. Weeks?
Yes.
Ms. Pease?
Yep.
Ms. Bernard?
Should I abstain? Am I okay with dispensing of the reading? Okay, I'll say okay. I can,
No, you have to abstain. You weren't here to.
but I'm allowed to say dispense with it or no? Okay, abstain. I want to prove them, but.
Motion carried.
Yeah, yes, as well.
Okay. Motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting held on August 18th, 2025.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting on August 18th, 2025.
And I'll second it.
Okay. Roll call,
Mr. Weeks,
yes.
Ms. Pease,
Yes.
Ms. Bernard,
Abstain.
and I'm yes as well.
Next item on the agenda is open to the public for questions and comments. Matt, do you have anything? Would you gentlemen like us to read the minutes?
No,
Okay. I have no problem. We can read the minutes.
It's painful for everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Vivian volunteers to read.
I can hear it in the voice.
Next item on the agenda is zoning inspector report for August. I don't have a report of any kind. I hope to get something tomorrow night. Next item on the agenda is the section 45 short-term rentals. We held a public hearing on September 15th, and I'm not going to read the letter from the Trumbull County Planning Commission over again. Their resolution 9/2025-66. Would like Tara and Vivian, do you have anything to add to the form that you guys were working on?
You know, we thought about the whole, amount of people per bedroom per unit, and we didn't know that we could enforce that. And so how they mentioned it on the suggestions,
We had it in.
but we,
Well, I sent a letter in the discussion, I sent a letter to Jason Toth at Trumbull County Planning Commission. And someplace in my back here. And his response to me was, good morning, Ken. I believe that Bristol Township may regulate shipping containers. Well, he's got the same thing on number of people. He has no problem with us saying maximum of 2. And I did find some information in the building code. Well, it's really not in the building code itself, but they have a recommendation that 2 is a good average number to have in a bedroom, to limit on a bedroom. So, and that coincides with what Jason said, that he has no problem with us saying 2, and let somebody argue that out in court if they want to do it. And how we're going to regulate that is, like so many other things. I just don't see us being able to regulate that. It's going to be tough enough to do other things there. Okay.
I feel like
Right,
some,
okay.
like, even some, I don't know, I'm confused as to a couple of questions on there, so.
Well, and so what if you have a family room with a pull-up, couch or something? Pull-up bed, then,
If you have a bedroom with 2 sets of bunk beds,
yeah.
are we gonna say no, thank you, get rid of a bunk bed? Can we say that? You must remove your bunk beds.
Put a Conex out back and put the beds there.
I think we're going to have trouble enforcing the
So
maximum.
just put it there,
of
so
2.
just so we cover our own butts, you're trying to say, okay.
I would just leave it there.
So go ahead and put, you're saying, go ahead and put 2 then.
Yeah. The next, we'll set that aside for a second. We'll get back into that one. I'd like to talk about the short-term rentals. I find all my paperwork.
That's what we're looking.
Mhm.
Before we go on to any of these, though, I would like to read another email that I sent to Jason Pott. Please be advised that RC 519.12B-2 does not require a township zoning commission to follow a county planning commission's recommendations. So we have the ability to disregard whatever they recommended. I knew we had that ability, but I wanted it in writing again before we went down the path, because there are so many things, several of the things that they recommended that I don't see us being able to do, so. And also, yeah, that's it. And I'm disorganized, right?
So they're asking us to put it into section 33 though, they're recommending us put it in section 33.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that, man?
No,
Okay.
no, because as we get into it in your form, would you ask somebody to go back to the Board of Appeals every year because to get a conditional permit every year?
Well, we're gonna ask them to get a short-term rental permit every year.
Yeah, but it costs $350 to get a conditional permit.
Then absolutely, yes.
I think we should just stay with, we're gonna have a hard enough time
Yeah, I'm kidding, I'm a joke.
dealing with, in my opinion, we're gonna have a hard enough time dealing with the enforcement of this whole thing anyway, and getting people to cooperate with it. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know,
How could you shut one down? How could that happen? You know what I mean?
How can you
Say,
say
say
no?
it's a nuisance. Then
Just-
how do we go about
We'd
that?
have to go to court,
Are you saying like to approve it during like,
Well,
like that situation over on,
yeah. It might not be a bad idea to make them come forth again in 4 or 5 years.
well,
and
every
see-
year they have to
every
apply.
year they have to.
Okay,
Well, then
but can you deny it?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So if they're-
Then there you go.
And
All
when it
right,
goes,
yeah,
it's to the zoning inspector, they have to go to the zoning inspector to get the renewal each year. Because
Yeah,
I understand.
got
what
you,
the
okay.
form was.
Yeah.
I guess I knew that, but I guess I wasn't.
And he would probably have some information that there was a problem there and he could
Sure.
deny it.
Well,
And then
our
if it's
sheriff does his
denied,
job well
Then
enough.
they can go to the Board of Appeals. And then if they don't, if they go to the Board of Appeals and they deny it, then they have to take it to the Court of Common Pleas. So
Gotcha.
there is a process there to go.
Just so we're covered that
Yeah.
way, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
There's the latest short-term rentals. It should be identical to what you all got before, but I just had made copies, so if you want to, something to reference it to. Any other? I'd like to make a motion, or entertain a motion, I should say, to approve new section 45, short-term rentals as presented.
So this one,
Mhm.
Okay. So this is for. Yeah.
Okay,
So we were just saying, there is a maximum number of occupants here that we had. I thought we had put it in.
And that's why I sent the email to Jason, I get his opinion, and I think we're on safe. Would somebody like to make that motion?
hang on 1 second.
Okay.
Do we have to have more detail about how to apply for for the permit? Or is it just, we'll have to just ask those questions?
I'm sorry?
I don't know that the renewal or the applications. No requirements. In the event the initial registration may not happen. Okay.
Is there something we need to add to
I
that?
wasn't sure if it's straightforward enough about how to apply for the, registration, like to register it. Oh, there it is, okay. Making sure we had it, it's straightforward, that's all.
I'm sorry?
Okay, I'm good,
Okay,
A plus.
Grade yourself.
Okay, I'm
would
good,
somebody like
sorry.
to make that motion to approve that as presented?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second the motion.
Are we gonna, when we give this to the trustees, or we're gonna attach the application?
We'll do that in a separate motion. Okay, I would like to put in the, add to the, as far as the discussion goes, that the zoning commission has reviewed the suggestions of the Trumbull County Planning Commission's Resolution 9-2025-66. The Trumbull County Assistant Prosecutor has reviewed this section, and we have addressed his suggestions, which are included in what we have there. And we are in the process of developing the registration form appendix M, short-term rental application, which covers, and C, the zoning commission agrees that being a permitted use rather than a condition of permitted use is in the best interest of Bristol Township. Roll call?
Mr. Weeks,
Yes.
Ms. Pease,
Yes.
Ms. Bernard,
Yes.
and I'm yes as well.
One down. Tara, do you want to do the section 36 now?
Not read the whole thing again, do I?
No.
Yes. Okay, so on section 36, public hearing was held on September 15th, and the recommendations are given the recent enactment of HB House Bill 501, effective date April 2023, the Trumbull County Planning Commission recommends that Bristol Township review the Ohio Township Association model zoning text for small facilities in comparison to their proposed zoning text amendments. It appears that much of the language included in the revised section is like the model zoning text for small facilities. However, many sections are not included, such as lighting and noise, published by the Ohio Township Association. So they also said that, where that goes, they said, they said, okay, and they were saying basically that the township comes after the state regulations.
The township can be stricter.
But not less strict.
But not less
Yes.
strict, yes.
So they're saying we're being less strict than the state. Is that what they're saying pretty much?
I haven't had really, I looked at that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how they interpret that.
That was my interpretation.
Would be less strict than the
Mhm.
state.
Yeah. So we're wasting our time by putting more in here if we're not quite as strict as the state.
I'm sorry?
Are we wasting our time by putting this in here if we're being less strict than the state? Pretty much, that's my head, that's what
Yeah.
I gathered.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do we need to be more strict or just forget it?
My opinion is I'd like to table this basically until next month. And to do that, since we're on a time element restriction, I'd like to entertain a motion to table or to rescind the motion to approve this last month.
Yeah. That's right, I agree.
And the motion that, I'd like to have a motion to rescind personal PTZ 25-29, which is the motion that approved that, proceeding with the solar energy section. Would somebody like to make that motion, please?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'll second it.
Did you make it, Vivian?
I'll make a motion
Okay.
to rescind the BTZC 25-29.
25-29, correct. Okay. Roll call?
Tara seconded it.
Yes, I seconded, sorry.
Mr. Weeks,
Yes.
Ms. Pease,
Yes.
Ms. Bernard,
Yeah.
and I'm yes as well.
I feel totally disorganized.
We're not gonna make me this.
Yeah, I'll go back to that now. Uh, I'd like to, we talked about the approval form for the short-term rentals earlier. I'd like to make a motion to approve Appendix M, short-term rental application.
Second the motion.
Or approving the appendix M, the application,
Pardon?
it's for the application,
Yeah.
I'll second it.
Vivian, you made the motion, right?
Oh, I thought I was saying, okay,
Okay.
yes, I'll make the motion.
It's fine, sorry.
That's okay.
Roll call?
Mr. Weeks,
Yes.
Ms. Pease,
Yes.
Ms. Bernard,
Yes.
and I'm yes as well.
Okay, classification of uses.
You're not to make this motion.
You tabled it. Okay, the next item on the agenda is the short-term rentals. I'm sorry. Additional permitted uses. Classification of uses. And as I mentioned, the only thing we really did there was, under permitted uses, was create a separate paragraph, porches, decks, breezeways, and pavilions. And planning commission suggested that we put it under paragraph 2. I disagree with that. I think we should put it under, as a separate statement. That's what the zoning inspector requested that we have a couple months ago.
He wants it separate?
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Pardon?
What's the difference? Sorry, I'm interested.
No, that's okay. It's, for years, the zoning inspector in appendix 2, these items have been a separate item on appendix 2, on appendix A, I should say. And last time when he issued some permits, 1 or 2 permits for a pavilion or a gazebo, he didn't find it in the zoning resolution itself where it authorized those to be permitted uses. So he asked us to take care of that, to make it, put it in under the permitted uses there. Porches, decks, breezeways, pavilions.
I see.
I
It's
just,
different, it's different in the appendix, so why wouldn't it be different, follow suit in the other part, right?
I'm sorry,
It's not with, it's in different, it's separate in the appendix, so why wouldn't it be separate in the other portion, is what you're saying?
I'm sorry, I didn't.
In the appendix, it follows suit, like that says that you changed it here. I understand.
Okay, so it just,
Yeah.
so I think it's gonna be simpler just to keep it the way, so it matches what's in appendix A.
Okay,
the way
yeah,
it is
I see it now,
So-
okay.
So I'd like to entertain a motion to approve section 5. Classification of uses, permitted uses for porches, decks, breezeways, pavilions, and gazebos. Paragraph 7. Would somebody like to make that motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second,
I'll second it.
roll call,
Mr. Weeks?
yes.
Ms. Pease?
Yes.
Ms. Bernard?
Yes.
And I'm yes as well.
Next item on the agenda is shipping containers. Tara, you asked that question, or you asked me to ask the question about that last month. And I sent an email to Jason again. In my backup up here. He sent an email back to me that we have the right to do to regulate shipping containers, but if they are used for agricultural use, absolutely not. So if somebody comes in and says they want to use a shipping container as agricultural use, we can't even ask for a permit to do that.
Not even if they have a quarter of an acre and they're putting chicken coop in it, it's cool.
If they say it's agricultural
Okay.
use,
That's- Okay.
I disagree with that whole
Okay.
philosophy, but
Okay.
you know. And I was talking about this with somebody during the last month. And they asked the question, well, can't you go in and inspect it to make sure they're using it for agricultural use? And I said, no, unless you want to get a lawsuit for going on somebody's private property without their permission. How are you gonna prove or disprove that somebody's,
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Thank you.
so,
Now, Tara, when you say about the quarter acre,
Mhm.
the leverage you may have is checking with the county to see if they have CAUV. You have to have 10 acres or more to be considered farm, or $2,500 a year in sales of agricultural product. So you do have some angles. I have 2. Mine are tucked behind my garage. You got to look really hard to see them. I understand your concerns, but the way I look at it, if it's not sticking out in the front yard and tacky, and for me, I didn't really have a choice. My stuff was getting stolen left and right, and it was a quick solution to lock things up right now.
I'm good with it. Thank you, Ken, for trying to do it.
well, I went back, we need to do something with section 39 anyway, because it references section 34, which we eliminated a couple of years ago. We need to add some other things in there, which I had sent out some information on that earlier this month. But I'd like to table any discussion on shipping containers until next month, until we have a chance to go in and look at this, ourselves. And possibly we can add some things in there like you added, Corey, about asking for whatever it's CAUV, when they say it's going to be used for agricultural purposes. At least there's a leg to stand on to.
Mhm.
So with that in mind, I'd like to, can I have a motion to table that until next month?
I'll make a motion to table it.
I second that motion.
Okay, next item on the agenda,
Roll call.
roll call, yeah.
Mr. Weeks?
I can't wait for somebody else to have to do this stuff. Mr. Weeks, yes.
Ms. Pease?
Yes.
Ms. Bernard?
Yes.
And I'm yes as well.
Tara, do you have anything for the good of the organization?
No, I'm good tonight. Thank you.
Thank you for all your work on that section 36.
Mhm.
Vivian, do you have anything?
No.
Okay. Carolyn, anything? Okay. I don't have anything. Next item is to review the meeting dates, and our next meeting will be October 13th, which by the way is Columbus Day, which is a legal holiday. But I think we can go ahead and have a meeting on that day anyway. I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn.
I got one question for you. I just want to understand that short-term rental agreement. Do they have to go in front of the Board of Appeals to get approved for it or no?
No.
Okay, can it be anywhere? Any house, any location? Or does it have to be commercial?
Short-term rentals are permitted in all zoning districts,
Okay,
so.
so,
what it's-
so that being said, it's an in-home business, right?
Well, we had an
And I
opinion.
remember we talked about, it, but I don't remember the answer on that.
Jason gave me an opinion a couple of years ago that in his opinion, rentals are not,
And I agree if it's lease, or, if you sign a lease, but aren't these guys charging sales tax? Wouldn't they be?
they probably should be.
Sure they should be. So that would be an in-home business. That opens up another door, I think, for in-home business.
Well, let me go back and.
And I'm not against
No,
that,
no,
but,
but let me go back and get that opinion again from him.
because I surely think they'd have to collect sales tax. That's a business. It's not, they're not signing 6 months lease, 12 months lease. They're not actually, they're just doing like going to a motel. I gotta pay taxes. That's short-term rental in a way.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying about opening up a door for in-home businesses? Because if they consider that a business, which I consider it a business,
Let me get his opinion on that again.
I didn't know if that was all covered before. I think we talked about it, but I wanted to refresh my memory. So if somebody asks me something, I can tell them exactly
Which
what it's gonna be.
Probably is why the state legislature has balked at doing anything on it. They don't want to open up that Pandora's box,
Gotcha.
my opinion. But I'll get an opinion from Jason on that,
I'd just be curious about that, whether or not they should be charging taxes.
especially since, it was 3 years ago, I think I got that opinion. Maybe something's changed on that
Mhm.
now too, so.
Because it is a business.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. That's all I want to know.
So I was looking at an older Airbnb receipt to see if I saw tax listed.
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
I was looking at our Airbnb receipt to see if there was a tax listed.
And that goes back, I guess, if it would, then would it require them to go in front of the Board of Appeals? Because everything else has to go in front of the Board of Appeals to be approved for a business.
Well, the way.
Just when you thought you had it figured out.
I know, geez, why'd you? have to
Well,
open
the
that
thing of it is
can of
because
worms?
shit can happen when things ain't right and the T's aren't crossed.
Well, how are these other communities doing it?
They aren't. Howland and Weathersfield, there's only 2 or 3 in Trumbull County that have any regulation on short-term rentals. They all want to stand back away from it.
All right, so my buddy in Southington has an Airbnb and he does collect sales tax.
I think you have to. I think you do. It's a business. And the only reason why I bring that up is because I went through jumps and hoops to go back to my house. I didn't just get to walk back there like I wanted to. It didn't work like that. We went through the courts and got approval and everything and made sure that everything was the way it was. You didn't just get to walk back home. I only got to go back because I never changed my business license. And I conducted business in there till 2016. They changed in 2013, I think it was. But I never took my business license to the town. So that saved me. In a certain way. I couldn't put up a new building or nothing. I had to add on to the building. So there were a lot of stipulations behind that going back home.
Paragraph 3, which we went through a real problem several years ago. Home occupation is defined as anything a resident does in his or her home to make money that does not conflict with any existing federal, state, or local laws or ordinances.
So what does that mean?
As long as it's legal, you can do anything you want to in your home.
Oh, okay, so anybody in town now can have a business at home. Right on.
And that was approved 3 or 4 years ago. We had probably
I knew there was
75
something, but I just couldn't remember for
people. You
sure.
remember that meeting?
Mhm. Yeah.
It created a lot of,
Yeah, I mean, I was up here, but I just couldn't remember what was all said about that, because I know that was the big stink for the long, I remembered I was told I couldn't do it, and we'll
Oh,
see,
yeah.
but it ended up, I was just curious about that, because that could have opened up another box, because somebody else wants to do something, you're like, well, you can't do it.
Like your
Look at that.
neighbor is.
Right.
according to this,
Yeah, you can. Anybody can, right? Okay. So that opens up a whole big old can of worms that I had a conversation with a gentleman this morning about businesses with the Amish. I said, because we had that discussion, and I said, I don't know. I said, there's a fine line. And I explained to him everything I went through to go back home and open my business. And like I said, it wasn't, it wasn't a walk in the park. It was back and forth and back and forth. And here, it just was a waste of time, in my opinion, but to hear all that. So, yeah, that'll open up a lot. It will.
I'm surprised that section hasn't opened up more.
Well, probably would if somebody would say something like me. Everybody knows I'm up there. Well, how come he gets to do it and I can't do it? You know what I mean? And if it was that way back in the day, rule of thumb, I opened up illegally, but I come up here and told them what I was going to do. And they said no. And I said, well, back and forth we went. And I said, no, come get me, I guess. And they never did. And that was okay with that. But things have changed since then for sure, But I just wanted to clarify that just so I understand when somebody asks me that question. Because I talk to people, just like this morning we had a conversation and I said about the Amish coming into town and a lot of them having their own businesses and shops and stuff. So they're going to be able to do it. Yep.
And do we have roll call?
Oh, nobody made a
So
motion.
nobody made a motion.
Sorry, Carol.
Motion to adjourn.
Oh, motion to adjourn. I'll second. Yes, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Vivian motioned and I seconded.
Okay, so everything's closed up. So that means